Welcome to SC Custom Designs. I want to welcome you to my wood shop, SC Custom Designs, where we're going to hopefully get through this within 35 minutes. Now, I promise you nothing because there you go. So first of all, got to have that cup of coffee first thing in the morning. I hope I'm not over advertising. Yeah. Thanks again for coming into my shop. I want to first apologize to one of my subscribers, and please give me a chance. But essentially, you know, on our YouTube channel, let's just go for it. So I said, welcome to SC Custom Designs Woodshop. Okay, and his comment about this video is basically was on this radial arm saw. By the way, I forgot the notch off for this little bar here. So, at any rate, to his point, and his name is Jerry, he said, let's scroll down, and when I tell you I get back to my comments, my subscribers' comments, I mean it. Jerry said, you're making me dizzy as all get out. Many explanation points. Hold the camera still. Sorry, had to quit watching. And my reply to him was, sorry, Jerry. And I sincerely mean that, because I understand the situation there, so I'm going to try. I should probably watch that video every time before I start so I don't move my head so quick with the camera. I have two ways of doing this, and well, this is the preferred method because I can actually use my hands. Welcome again to SC Custom Designs. I want to let you guys know that we do have a website. It's called SC Custom Designs. Go figure. Not the and, because, you know, URLs don't like ands. Okay, so here's a quick picture view of some of the projects. This is, you hear me talking about these things. This is a munitions box that I made for my brother-in-law out in California, and man, was that project amazing to make, and I don't have any video on it. All I have is the pictures that I kind of took on my before I shipped it out. I'm so sad about that. I made a cherry coffee table here. Basically, it was a kitchen table. It was round, and I cut them up into pieces and made that unit there. So, and then this is it doesn't really get very big. Let's not do that. Then these are the bandsaw boxes that I make. These are out of the 4x4s. Here is another bandsaw box. Believe it or not, that was made out of and this isn't optimized for a Nook, apparently. So there you go. So just know that we have a website, and they're connected to our Facebook, SC Custom Designs, Google Plus, and also YouTube. So if you click that, you can go right over my YouTube channel. All right, so enough of that. Again, Jerry, I'm sorry. Let's get on to the project. So basically, a customer, I will be looking at this periodically so I don't run over, gave me this drawer, and they said, can you fix it? Do you do small jobs like that? Absolutely I do. I like to accommodate, especially when you guys are local as opposed to Switzerland or something, right? Okay, so this guy finds himself in my videos. I don't know how he gets there. So basically, we're going to replace this. What happened, my friends? Okay, hopefully I'm going slow enough. This is the bottom ledge that holds this piece here. Oh, I moved too fast, I know it. And basically, through time, what happened was just using the unit, right? Just using it caused this thing to break off and fall off, okay? Because this is heavy. You got the oak, and then you got this backer, right? And that's a very common way. Make a simple frame out of the cheapest material you possibly can without falling apart. And then attach a really nice piece of oak to it, right? That's how that's done. So at any rate, yeah, look at this, man. So it basically broke off. Whoops. So I have to make this piece, and then I have to level this off a little bit so I can put that piece down on there. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do in a very short amount of time. Okay? So let's just set that aside. First thing we need to do is to get some very, very strong stock, which I have prepared here. Always have protection for your ears and your eyes, my friends. I hope I don't move the video, the camera. Let's do this. All right, you know, I'm going to forego this for now. But just know that you really should have ear protection and eye protection, my friends. All right, without further ado. All right, now we're going to come over here, and I have this pretty much all set up so that I could, here's this guy again. I don't know how he makes it into my videos. All right, so friends, the last video we did, we took the riving knife off, and my friend in the UK said, Steve, don't forget to put that back. And I thanked him for that because I did forget. However, it just happens that that's going to work out for me today because I don't need the riving knife. Now, when you're cutting a skinny piece like this, my friends, you would argue, Steve, you need that riving knife, okay? And I'm going to say, well, I don't, because we're going to use this, okay, my friends? This is the GRR Gripper. Please look up that episode. When it's all together in all its glory, it kind of looks like this, okay? It's an amazing configurable way to push stock through your tools, your table saw, your bandsaw, right? And your router table, right? So this thing is stellar for that. When I got one, they said, you got to get another one. You can do the leapfrog technology and whatever. I'm like, why do we need another one? Man, I think you're buying, this cost me about $101 or whatever after tax, shipped to my house. Let me just say this, my friends. Can you put a price on your fingers? What if you damage your finger, right? And, okay, I'm making you dizzy again. Sorry, Jerry. I hope Jerry and I become friends. Seriously, I don't want to lose my subscribers because I don't know how to video. That's just not good. That's anti-productive. So, there we go. All right. This is going to pay for itself as it saves your digits. End of story. Okay, I wish they had that when I first started out in Israel, and in the 70s, and then in the 90s, and I got back to the States and started my family. I didn't have that. I don't know if they had that. This has got to be within the last 10 years or so, maybe less. So, essentially, my friends, the way this works is that this is going to push down your material. It's going to keep it in place as it's going through the saw, and it's going to ride over the saw blade, my friends. Make sure the saw blade's not too tall, right? Okay, so there you go. So we're going to do that, and we're going to use what they call the leapfrog, the leapfrog technique. I'm going to lock one of these down, okay, up here. I'm going to put that up there. Actually, let's move this guy out of the way over here because I already have one. There's actually two of these. These are great because this will drop, which I fully intend this one to do. Oh, no. Okay, so I didn't set up for this video properly. But basically, this will drop and pull your material through. Okay, which is awesome. That way, that's less to think about. So we see how that works. Okay, so here we go. Again, we're going to employ the leapfrog technique so that we keep our hands safe at all times. All right, and again, wear the ear protection. I'm just not going to do it now because it's going to throw my camera off my face. That's a little anti-productive. All right, let's start up our dust collection system. Alright, there you go, my friends. So that was literally the first time I actually ever used these. I tend to do demos on them and talk about the product, right? Please look up the demo on that dual planer. I haven't used it yet. So at any rate, these guys, they pay for themselves. My hands, my fingers never got near that blade. It didn't have a chance to get near that blade. All right, so that's the whole point behind getting the gripper. So as you can see, I made this strip to come on the bottom. I always make things a little bit bigger, my friends, because you never know. You can't like add to the wood. So now you can see what my predicament is. This is a little bit too high. Okay, it's not flush with that. So what I intend to do is come over here and just clean it up a little bit. There's so many ways that you can do a thing, right? And that's one of them. You can use the router, right? That's what I said I originally would do. But I think I'm just going to clean it up by running the board over top of this. Just enough, right? I just want to clean this up just a little bit. All right, so let's drop that blade down. If I had a lot more light, you'd be able to see. For all I know, you actually can see. Okay, just want to take a teeny bit off of that. All right, and we want to allow for the maximum cut. So we need to move our fence over a little bit. Okay. All right, let's try to do this on the fly. That's always a little bit tricky, doesn't it? All right, so now lock in the fence. Let's bring this down because we don't want to take too much off, my friends. Just enough. Just enough will do it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to clean up this edge here. All right, we'll just clean it up a little bit. All right, here we go. Ideally, you're going to want to use a dado for that. Dado would be awesome. My goodness, we're already 20 minutes in. And so, as you can see, I didn't like clean it up totally there. What I think I'm going to do is employ a little hand technique. Now, we got most of it done. Don't forget that warm coffee. Let's just bring over a few chisels, and which should clean up the job just nice. All right, so let's go ahead and grab this type of deal because it won't be as loud. And again, I apologize if I'm moving too quick for you guys. Let's try to do it by hand at first, see what we can do. I mean, obviously this is not real hard material, right? So this is not going to be a huge deal for us to clean this up. All right, there's so many ways of doing a thing, right, my friends? And you just got to do whatever comes to you. If you're not sure about a technique, just give us a shout on our channel. We'd be glad to talk to you about it. What would be the preferred method of doing a thing? So, got to be careful not to take off too much. Actually, it'd be it wouldn't be a terrible thing if it were to fall below. There, look at that, my friends. So we're just got to cut a little bit off this end here, and then we should be good to go. All right, so there we go. Just clean that up a little bit. All right, and we're going to go ahead and I'm actually going to use my my pin gun. I got a few different size pins there. Again, Jerry, sorry for moving my camera so much. All right, so I wanted to share another tip with you. Tips along the way. This is what I tell my friends. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would ask that you would consider, so you can just enjoy entertainment. I love to entertain. That might have been scary. So we like to just talk about different methods as we work along. So what is our predicament? We have these pins, these existing pins in there. If you try to knock them like this, you're taking a chance that they're going to bend and never come out. And the pins can be not so strong. Here's my tip, my friends. So for example, with this pin up here, I'm simply going to grip the pin, hit the hammer, right? How's that for a little bit of a tip, right? So now we're not bending the, now we can go ahead and drive it home, right? So that's the tip that we have for that. Now we can very easily take these pins out even by hand. Look at that, my friends. Okay, remember that the one of the top 3 tips that I have. Use your garbage can. Have this little guy here around, so if you find something that's on the floor, you're going to say, my goodness, now I know where that goes. This, for example, it belongs to this Rockler set here. That's one thing that they didn't do good, and that's the handles fall off too easy. So I got to epoxy the second time I'm doing that. Epoxy another one back on. All right, we got to move along. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get a little bit of glue here. And well, actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and remove the battery. We don't want any accidents. These little pins should do the job. Okay, that should definitely do the job for me. So let's drop those guys down in there. Okay, look my review up for this guy. We did a review. I mean, I have a pin gun, pneumatic pin gun, that I simply don't have to use anymore because they make them battery operated, my friends. That's just amazing. It doesn't take too much to get me excited when a tool like that comes out. So various companies are making them now. It's just smart, right? Just smart. Okay, so you might be saying, Steve, you forgot to cut that little sliver. Well, there's so many ways of doing a thing. I can't even begin to tell you. I got to pull those nails out, obviously. But let's just tap that down in a little bit. I'm always one for putting a little bit more glue on than a little bit less. I can always clean it up. A tip for you, if you can take this to your kitchen sink, you can just use your sprayer there. That's what I've done many times, my friends. So let's go ahead and get an idea. Hopefully that stick didn't go too far. Where this thing needs to be dropped. Okay. So looks like he needs to go about there. So let's just put this in here. And again, because you have a wood shop, there's going to be so many ways of, oops, I shouldn't have did it that way. Man, you know. Now what do I do? You know, like what if this were too close? Well, I could just, there's so many ways to fix that. All right, but besides, I did measure this. And so what I'm going to do is push it over flush here so I can cut this with a Japanese saw. That'll clean that up real fast, my friends. Okay, so I'm going to put some slight pressure on here. It is amazing how quickly, depending upon the humidity levels and the heat and all these types of things, it's amazing how quickly these things will set up. Now I'm going to use my helpers. Your clamps are your helpers, my friends. It's going to help to stabilize that a little bit while I pin it down, right? So you could argue, well, why don't you just clamp it and forget it, right? Well, I need to move along. So that's what I'm doing. You'll notice that I have my small clamps real close within reach. That's a lesson I learned. I'm always going to the other side of my shop or wherever these clamps happen to be, right, my friends? And so you want to have those things close. All right, let's put our first pin in. See how we go. Whoops. Okay, it's definitely on. This is also new to me. I'm used to having the. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. That's shooting in quite a ways there. That's what these things are good at. This is a really good gun. Just amazing, my friends. All right, let's put one more down here. I tend to be overkill with these things because there's nothing more embarrassing than returning the project to the customer and it falls apart. Okay, take the battery out for safety, my friends. Do that. Okay, so there we go. That took care of that pretty quick. The next pins I'm going to be using are going to be longer pins. I'm hoping to actually get through this whole video and finish the project here. So I like to try to clean up as I go along. So here's my pipe clamps, my short ones. Pipe clamps, did I say pipe clamps? Short clamps, and then over there are all the rest of my clamps, pipe clamps, all various types of clamps. Okay, so all right, there's really not a lot of glue on the inside. I'm not too concerned about it. I can always get that out one way or another. I actually try to keep, I gotta think of Jerry. Now I'm gonna think of Jerry. I will always be thinking of Jerry in the right way, not to move my head so fast. I do have, but I can't find them, toothpicks, swabs. So that's that, my friend. So this is going to be able to come in here and receive the bottom. Okay, let's very quickly cut this off. Now that we're thinking about it. So I hope you're enjoying the tips. Please give us some comments. Again, Jerry gave me an honest comment, and he said, "Stop moving it. Camera, I have to stop watching." And he probably gave me a thumbs down. And I tell you, I ask you guys, give me thumbs up or thumbs down. If you give me a thumbs down, tell me why. And he told me why. All right, so that's taken care of, right? We took care of that with very, very little to do. And we're showing you various tricks of the trade as we get the job done, like using that gripper. Again, expense isn't even in the question when it comes to getting not just one of them, but two of them. So there we go. Those are out. Now what we have to do is not spill that an amazing cup of coffee. Oh, I was going to talk about certain techniques like using this, but I'm moving right along. I got 10 minutes left to my video. I just set the timer so I can have some kind of idea where I am in my videos, okay? So let's see what happens when we put this in. Let's do what